Start the stream. How's DCS? And is that Chernobyl? That's the F-16. Oh, shut up. What'd you have for dinner? Where, McDonald's?
Colt 1, airborne.
Which planes can you fly in Flight Simulator? Where they're gonna sell it? How much do they sell those for? It's like $100. Which one? Yeah. Black. Black Ops. Hmm.
And I'm
The silent majority
Is no longer.
Now, I'm not going to read this whole statement, but it basically says how they're embarrassed at their response, they're embarrassed at their lack of preparation, and how they don't want to infringe on free speech, but also they can't allow people to disrupt the school activities. And it's a pretty good statement from the chancellor. And it's amazing. This is the only one I've seen that I think really just cuts it right down the middle. You should be allowed to protest peacefully, legally, lawfully, even if it's against Israel. I know, controversial. Uh-oh. But you should be allowed to do that. But you shouldn't be allowed to block roadways, block entrances, harass, intimidate, and assault people. It's really that simple. Not that hard. So that's essentially the statement they put out. And there's a 2-page statement from the Chancellor, Andrew Martin, but I just summed it right up for you. And by the way, now that's not, I think Washington University is actually just on the outskirts of St. Louis City. So you're not dealing with St. Louis City cops run by George Soros. You're dealing with the St. Louis County cops. I'm just trying to remember, because I used to live right in that area. with the jurisdictional maps, but I'm sure it's like literally on just west of the city-county line. So that's why they're getting hit with these trespassing deals. And now the Austin police, by the way, are finding new ways to keep the protesters in prison by upping their charges, keeping them in jail by upping their charges. They're thinking about even charging them with terrorism now, which is completely insane. The problem is they get arrested, they get in front of a Soros DA or judge, and they get their charges dropped, even if they were assaulting police officers. So now the state police or the local police are upping the charges against the protesters at UT so that they have to stay in prison or they have to stay in jail and they can't be released by a judge or a Soros district attorney. So there's a lot of back and forth with this. I wish the law enforcement was that stiff and tight during the Black Lives Matter riots, but nonetheless, here we are. But guys, that video you were playing earlier, was that Avi Yemeni from, or what's the guy's name who does, Horowitz, Ami Horowitz, thank you. I was thinking of the Rebel News reporter from Australia. He'd probably do something like that too, though, because I believe both of them are Jewish. But I think, so that was Ami Horowitz. So he just tried to walk through Washington U and they were assaulting him, or what was that, guys? Because I saw it on the screen, but I hadn't seen that. Was it a USA flag? So, okay, so Ami Horowitz, he does street reporting. He's done a lot of good reports over the years. He walked through it with an American flag and got assaulted. So he wasn't even waving the Israeli flag. Now look, let's be clear here, because I call a fair game. Yeah, when I go to anti-Trump events wearing a Trump hat, I know that I'm going to get hate, obviously. Now, that doesn't give people the right to assault me, and quite frankly, I got tired of being assaulted, and so we kind of just cut that activity out, especially now that I'm on probation and can't put myself in a compromising situation. But this is just insane. So it's devolved into exactly what we thought it would devolve into, which is just the radical left, anti-America, anti-capitalist, left, anti-white left. So that's what this has devolved into. Oh yeah, they go buy a scarf off of Amazon or whatever to show that they've got the flavor of the month, because it's like putting the Ukraine flag in your bio. But it's all the same. It's the same leftist, anti-capitalist, anti-white, anti-American left that's now gone out there, and it's the same useful idiots. But again, yeah, you go out there, you wave an Israeli flag in front of a bunch of anti-Israel protesters, you're asking for trouble. That doesn't mean that they should be allowed to assault you.
About the child porn.
And so he's getting pushed and shoved around. Oh my gosh. It's just, you can't help the American left, folks. They're just too stupid. I'm sorry. They're just too stupid. There's nothing that you can do. They're just too stupid. If you want to win a political debate, an intellectual debate, a philosophical debate, then talk. But you just can't help yourselves, can you? You just can't help yourselves. You just have to go back to the insults and to the shoving and to the violence and to the criminal activity. You just can't help yourself. Because you have room here, and you can find conservatives out there that would actually probably agree with your stance on Israel, but you just go full mongoloid leftist, and so there's no room now. It's gone. You've taken all the air out of the room. But I'll tell you this, it's and you know what? I've got some poll numbers, so I'll actually revisit this later. But
nice.
They just can't help themselves, can they? But see, that's the problem is, you'll have actual people out there that might have an idea of what's going on in the Middle East, might have some skin in the game, might have a reason why they're anti-Israel, but that'll be 1 out of 10, and then the other 9 will be leftist agitators, leftist, anti-communist, anti-American liberals, and then they've just ruined the whole thing for you. So it's done.
Nice.
It's over. The left has done exactly what they do every time. And now, once again, There will be no intellectual debate on the issue. There will be no intellectual debate on the issue. You know what you used to do? You know what you used to do when you had an issue like this consuming your
Can you
campus?
guys do me a huge favor? Can you cycle off on
Men
support
would
so
put
I
on
can
a suit
build
and
nodes at
tie.
our HQ?
And they'd go into the assembly hall and they'd set up a debate and they would debate one another.
All right, what do you want us to do
I haven't
here,
seen
Chunky?
that once. I haven't seen one college student
HQ
put on
would
a
be-
suit
would
and
be
tie,
great.
organize a debate at the assembly hall.
One at a
and
time.
have it
Chunky,
out in
repeat
the
over.
media realm.
We gotta
Haven't
get
seen
across that bridge, boys.
Oh my gosh.
What's the bridge
This is
architecture
insane.
look like?
I've got a
There's
Just
like
so I
another
know, I
side
see
to
it.
it that's like really shitty and not
I got
well
a
protected,
malnourished,
but you need to control the
skeletal
under and
college
the over.
liberal screaming
Okay,
entire
we're talking about
Wall
wood
Street
material,
guy,
brick
like we
material.
put
What kind
on
of
a map.
material are we talking about?
And then I have an Asian
Wood.
man.
Wood.
Say some
Got
good
him.
solid
I'm
stone.
sorry. It's just the whole thing is devolved into total clown world.
Like on the bridge,
The,
there's
the
good
whole
enough
thing
cover
is
for
just poisoning the
infantry,
water
but
now,
under the
so
bridge, it's pretty.
There's no
dicey.
more intellectual debate on it. It's not going to happen. And if you want to have a debate on it, I mean, it's just so crazy. So if you're questioning Israel, you're now a jihadist and a Hamas agent for just questioning Israel, which is complete lunacy, pathetic, a total pseudo-intellectual response. But that's what you get. Or if you're out there waving an Israeli flag, you're.
Do we have a supply guy yet?
And
I was supply, and I dropped my supplies and switched
No,
to
it's
engineer
just-
to build.
the whole
so
thing is just-
if someone else can just switch and
It's
drop their
just evolved
supplies and
into
switch
total
back for
clown.
that'd be awesome.
That's
Just do it
what,
on
you get.
that
That's what the left does. So it's like,
HQ2.
we can talk about
Please, whenever you get a
police
second.
state, police
Thank you, guys.
brutality. The left ruined that conversation. And now they've done this.
Anybody have an extra band-aid?
Let's
Over.
let's look at some of these clips. And actually, do we have audio of that? I kind of want to hear that shriek.
Where do you want
Can
the
I hear that
supplies?
shrieking
Right on
liberal?
OP?
I'm bleeding out.
HQ2.
No, right
please.
at HQ2, so he can build the
Oh
nodes.
my God. Where is this? Is that WashU? Yeah, that's WashU. A beautiful campus. He used to live right down the street from that. In fact, one of our most viral videos.
They are on.
Do you remember? You guys remember? You guys remember the video where the guy comes up to me? He says, "Trump likes kissing pretty
man.
women."
Appreciate you.
You guys remember that one? We should maybe try to pull that out of the archive. We spent some time at WashU when the presidential debate was there.
Chunky. Fucking get here, brother.
We were traveling, covering these debates. I was covering it at WashU. We had a couple great moments,
dude, the map
actually.
is
I
good.
wonder, should we try to dig that content up? That long
Support?
censored, banned, missing content when InfoWars was at WashU during the presidential debates. There were some classics. That was when everything we put up on YouTube would get 1 million views plus.
Negative.
Every single thing. So a couple viral moments from that. I even confronted Chris Hayes. And it's actually, the funny thing is, he recognized us. And I was like, well, who are you? He's like, oh, of course you know who I am.
All right, where
No,
am I
I have
fucking
no idea who
spawning?
you are. You look like a nothing.
Middle?
All right. We got some craziness here. We got some just total craziness here. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's just do this as we go to break, and I'll reconvene and get into the rest of this news here. This is a campaign ad. I think Benny Johnson's team put this together, but this is funny stuff. This is the kind of stuff that the Republicans should pay to get on TV or make sure millions of people see it on social media, wherever they need votes. Funny stuff here. Trump campaign is not really from the Trump campaign, but it should be. Clip 1.
Wow, as you can see, what they're doing to Trump is crazy. It's important to be prepared. So here's some things you can do when you cast your vote in November. The fist pump, because you're a winner. The yay. Say it with me. Yay. Do the dance. You know it well. Keep those elbows up now.
Yeah, I think Chunky Monkey wants to.
Tell the obvious liberals in the voting line to go home to mommy.
Go home to mommy.
Don't forget to laugh at them. Bye-bye. Other things you can do when you cast your vote for Trump. get into any wars. Put money in your pocket and keep it. Deport the nearest illegal immigrant. Yes, you can arrest criminals now, and much, much more. So how will you express yourself in the ballot box?
The best is yet to come.
I'll have to think about that. How are you guys going to celebrate when you vote for Trump? I'm going to have to think about that one.
So what made you decide to start a podcast? Obviously, everybody and their mother has a podcast. Yours is genuinely special. What made you decide, you know, I'm going to add my name to add a podcast? Covering everything here every day, you get so tossed into the mix that when you get out, when you're on your way,
Let's do this first. Let's go to Speaker Mike Johnson. I'm pretty sure that the Supreme Court said that hate speech is actually free speech. And I would say hate speech is actually free speech. Except, of course, when it's anti-Semitic, then it's not free.
Oh, this is a lot of fun. That's fun.
Why are you explosive ammo? It's the thing you wrap around. It's a circle. Dog, how much did you sell the clock weight?
Sorry, I'm a violator. Idiot.
How much would you sell the clock weight for? It weighs how much again?
They're on the west side of the bridge.
There's a airhead down. You guys are dead. Go take it.
Speech. Here's Mike Johnson saying so much in
Alright,
clips.
And that same vacuum of leadership is being felt at this really critical time, this moment in our cultural history, in the history of our country, with regard to the rise of anti-Semitism. We desperately need, the country
I'm sorry,
needs...
here, rewind it back. I cut him off. He said, rewind it back and play it again. Sorry. Cultural history, he said. They're not even waving American flags. Go ahead.
And that same vacuum of leadership is being felt at this really critical time, this moment in our cultural history, in the history of our country, with regard to the rise of anti-Semitism. We desperately need...
That's our culture, is fighting anti-Semitism.
We need the President of the United States to speak to the issue and say, this is wrong. What's happening on college campuses right now is wrong. It is un-American. It is not who we are. The President seems unable or unwilling to do that. The Vice President the same thing. Chuck Schumer, who is the highest-ranking Jewish official in the history of the United States, is not speaking to this issue. And that is why we feel a direct obligation to do that. The Congress has a role. We went to Columbia University on Wednesday. We faced that hostile crowd to speak clearly, with clarity and conviction and consistency about this issue. This is not free speech. I'm a constitutional law attorney. I used to litigate free speech cases.
So hate speech is not free
campus
speech
expression on university campuses.
when it's against Jews.
This is not the free marketplace of ideas. This is open threats to Jewish students because of their faith and who they are. The Jewish students are unable to go to class. The administration at Columbia acknowledged that because they canceled classes for fear of physical safety of their students.
So, I mean, let's be clear about this. There have been some isolated incidents. I'm going to show some incidents now. The vast majority of these confrontations has not been violent. But to say there haven't been violent confrontations is not fair either. There have been. Of course there have been. We're dealing with leftists here. But what about, I mean, I choose not to do this, but I could show all kinds of violence that goes on in schools. And we know exactly what I'm talking about. I could show white children being targeted all day long in schools, and Mike Johnson isn't going to say a damn word about it.
Thank you, Keith.
I could show violence from all sides. We could sit here and talk about violence in schools all day long, and nobody will say a damn thing about it. And it's 10 times worse. It's 10 times worse than what you're seeing on these television. Let's not forget there was just that young white girl who was beaten nearly to death. Or maybe the young white boy that got ran over by a car.
Get in that truck.
Did Speaker Johnson say anything about that? No, of course not. But, oh, no, anti-Semitism is not free speech. He says he's a constitutional attorney. Hasn't the Supreme Court ruled that hate speech is free speech? So it's just, I mean, again, you can criticize white people. They set up, in universities now, they set up libraries, study halls, entire buildings for BIPOC only, meaning no whites allowed. That's cooked into the system. No whites allowed. They do public statements and ceremonies, and they say no whites allowed. And nobody in Congress says a damn thing. And it's like, I don't even care, quite frankly. And then Donald Trump has to come out and make a statement today saying, well, there's actually a war on white people. Well, it's actually white people facing racism. And it's like, I don't even want to hear about it. I don't even care. If you don't want me at your party, fine. If you want to hate white people, fine. That's your right to hate me and have your free speech. I don't care. It's just, why is it we need laws against anti-Semitism? And now we're going to have huge speeches and podiums and congressional statements stopping anti-Semitism. But I can come out here and criticize any other group.
But we're like the third wave to expect
specifically white people. And that's the flavor of the month. And that's just fantastic. And no congressional statements on that.
When you exercise, you
can have entire movements and you say, this is only for black people. Scholarships, this is only for black people. Events, this is only for black people. No whites allowed here, no whites allowed there. You got all kinds of groups, no whites allowed. And nobody says a damn thing. And that's fine. I don't even give a damn. But now that it's anti-Semitic, now we have to lock it down. And if you can't see how this is an attack on free speech, then you're part of the problem.
You boys up front, keep your eyes.
So all we do is remain consistent. Yes, you have the right to be anti-white. And I will stand for your right to speak out against white people and espouse your hatred for white people. I will fight for your free speech right to do it. But that goes both ways. That goes all directions.
When you came over.
Except it doesn't, does it? And so, see, that's the problem we have here. And you know what? Maybe I'll just jump to this now, because this is unavoidable. This is a Gallup poll. And we can doc cam this. Changes in views of Israeli military action in Gaza by party ID. Now, in November of 23, 71% approved of the military actions. Now, in March of 24, that number is down to 64%. Independence, November 23, it was at 48%. Excuse me, it was at 47%. Now it's down to 29%. Democrats, it was at 36%. Now it's down to 18%. So this is universal. This is going across party lines. Here's another thing I'm seeing and hearing. Some of the most popular voices on the right, with some of the biggest talk shows, and these are some legacy voices, and it's always been for many people, lick your finger and see which way the wind blows, or just always go against whatever the left is doing, which is a dangerous mindset in and of itself. So they see, hey, you know what? It's brand conservatism to be fully on board for Israel. And maybe that's because of 9/11 or something else, or just old Cold War II or World War II era geopolitics. They see the left that's anti-Israel, so they just go on brand and love Israel. But what I'm seeing is now these old legacy members of the conservative media on talk radio, they are fully in support of Israel, fully against these college protests, and they get callers, and they're not even vitriolic, and they just get callers and they just say, hey, so and so, you know, maybe we shouldn't support Israel like we do. We have our own problems, and by the way, you know what Israel's doing in Gaza. I, as a conservative, I as a Christian, I just can't support that. And I'm hearing it every single day on some of the biggest conservative talk show platforms in America. So this is not going anywhere. And quite frankly, Americans are sick of hearing about Israel all day long. Americans are sick of all these problems that we have, and then immediately Israel becomes the #1 priority. That's not anti-Semitic, but then that's what they'll say. Oh, you're a jihadi, you're Hamas, you're anti-Semitic, and that's how they respond. And that just turns off the audience, and they say, well, wait a second, no, I'm not. We have our own problems. Israel can deal with Hamas. Israel can deal with their problems. They're having no problem over there. Why is this our priority? And then they sit here and they get called slurs, and they get here and they sit here and they get attacked. The Democrats have promoted violence against white people. The Democrats have promoted violence against Trump supporters. The Democrats have promoted violence against Christians. And Congress doesn't even make a peep. And the conservative media doesn't even make a peep. And then, now it's, we have to stop all anti-Semitism at all costs. That's not free speech. And so conservatives are saying, hey, wait a second, I don't think I agree with that, and maybe we should see what's going on in Israel before we get fully behind it. And they just say, you're Hamas! You're a jihadi! It's not selling anymore. This is a neutral observation, and the polls reflect it. And guess what? When a true conservative, who's not even being vitriolic towards the host, just says, hey, you know, I don't know if I agree with this stuff, and then they start to get angry and lash back, what do you think that's going to do? Well, it's going to reshape the conservative media, A, but B, it's going to take this number. Forget about independents and Democrats. The vast majority now do not support Israel. That's reflected. I would say, at this rate, with this current trajectory, but see, this is why these protests are so important. Because this number, Republican support for the IDF, Republican support for Israel First politics, which is trending down, now because of these protests, it might boost it back up again. So you see how they play both sides? You see how it's all an agenda? And it's just incredible to sit here and watch it all play out. And most people just can't even see it. They can't even see the tide. They can't even see the waves in the ocean. And they have no idea what's coming. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. If it does work, then Republican support for Israel will go back up to 70%. If it doesn't work, I would say by September, it's like, or August, it's probably down to 60 or 50%. Because that's where it's trending. And most conservatives and Republicans are fair-minded people and consistent in their principles and values. And they don't like getting lectured about Israel 24/7 or called Hamas or an anti-Semite simply because they don't support the IDF's actions against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. So I don't know where that goes, but believe me, that is an important metric right there. That is a very important metric to keep your eye on. And we'll be keeping an eye on it. But I don't think Mike Johnson is helping, even though he wants to. Here he is again. But again, the irony is, oh, we can't allow this, we can't allow that. They've allowed it for the last 8 years. But now that it's anti-Israel, they can't allow it. Here it is, clip 8.
What Congress can do, in addition to calling it out and taking a stand and standing in favor of and for the protection of all of our Jewish community, is that we also have the power of the purse, of course, and we have the responsibility of accountability over those who would allow for this kind of mayhem. And so, with regard to the fund,
sitting right there, as a group of anti-Israel protesters are blocking a Jewish student from going to class. That is a crime. Why aren't they being arrested? So it's like they'll go in and they'll arrest somebody standing on a patch of grass and throw them in jail. But then when they're actually blocking students from going to class, they let them sit there. What is this clown world I woke up in? So here's a Jewish student at UCLA trying to go to class, and they won't let him go in clip 11.
We're going this way. You guys have closed the entrance. We are UCLA students. I have my ID right here. I'm being blocked off, not by the security guard, but by you.
And of course, they're wearing masks.
No, look, they're making a murder while I'm
They're
here.
criminals.
This is what they do. Everybody, look at this. Look at this. I'm a UCLA student. I deserve to go here. We pay tuition. This is our school.
So pause it now. This is so here's what you have. Now you've reached the point. This is not even about Israel anymore. You can put on your little scarf and you can join the protest flavor of the month. Now it's the same leftist, communist, anti-American garbage that it was every other time. And this is what they do every single time. They do this to me when I go out on the streets. And this is what they're taught. Same groups, folks. It's the same groups. It's just the protest flavor of the month now is Israel. So it's the exact same groups. They'll change their shirts, they'll change their attire, they'll change their masks, they'll change their signs. It's the same groups, it's the same goals, it's the same organizers, it's the same funders. Why aren't they being arrested? There is a security guard sitting right there. Why aren't they being arrested? That's criminal activity. You're now blocking somebody from moving about in public territory. You're blocking a student from going to class. You should be arrested. If you want to stand there and hold a sign, that's legal. But see, now you're blocking it. Now you've lost me. I'm out. Never going to support that. So continue.
Over there, I want to use that entrance. Well, I can't take it. Will you let me go in? This can be over in a second. Just let me and my friends go in to class.
We're not engaging.
Oh, I'm not engaging. I'm just blocking you. No, we're not. These are adults. These are activists. These are agitators.
I'm going in.
See, they even have their little traffic cone shirts.
I'm not hurting them. That's what they do. That's what they do, everybody. You guys are promoting aggression. You guys are promoting hate. We're UCLA students. We deserve to be there.
Congratulations, leftists.
You and your father are in like World War II or whatever. And yeah, you're basically storming Normandy or whatever. And yeah, like he just gets like his fucking legs get blown off. Are you and like let's say there's like heavy machine guns like MG42s just raining bullets down, are you going back to save them? Yeah, but what if he's on you like, "Oh, get over here." What if you just feel like a pain in your leg? You look, it's dad shooting you with a pistol, telling you to get over it. What if he keeps shooting at you though? It's your dad though. I miss back when TV was still a thing. Not even just when it stopped, but like back in like the 90s. I miss like commercials back then. I miss the commercials. See, like I don't even know. Like I just have like images. Like I can't remember fully back then, but what I remember is I guess I don't know. I also like how things work like bigger, like HD, kind of like the grainy look of it, or aesthetic.
You lose. Congratulations, leftists. You just lost the plot. Congratulations, leftists. You're the idiots again.
It should just be garrisons.
Oh yeah.
Here's another one they have set up. So again, this is all organized. This is all coordinated. This is no longer legal. They're blocking people from going to class. Here it is again, UCLA Clip 12. They have a checkpoint. They love borders now. See, they've all got their little masks. They've all got their little scarves. It's just a costume.
Time to go. What? You don't have the wristband.
Why don't I need a wristband?
You're still in the building. Dad's there. Or
Time to go.
I can stand here if I want.
Shot in the face. Nice.
He's cornered.
Okay, they're now cornering me. I'm not moving.
They wear the mask to cover their faces because they're the criminals.
Say whatever you want.
Nice little neon vest. You know, somebody gave
How
them.
confident would you feel if it was you, your mom, and your sister in like a squad in World War II? How confident would you be that you got the squad? What? Why not, dog? What's on the dude? I feel like that guy would be. I feel like Turner would be like a fucking, what is it, grade A soldier. He wouldn't talk. He would kill like everybody. Calm down.
That. So they have these, folks, I'm telling you, it's the same leftist groups. It's the same Soros groups. This is they just get these dumb college liberals to protest the flavor of the month, and there you have it.
No.
Look, anybody that wears a hat like that, I just, you know.
I mean no harm. I'm just standing here. Just showing you guys how pointless your blockade is. I got in through the other entrance, and now I'm standing here. You guys want to prevent Jewish students from entering? Fine.
Now we got a couple of Jewish students. Are you Zionist?
Yeah, of course I'm Zionist. Okay.
Congratulations, leftists. You've done it again. You've played your role. You've played your role in moving the ball forward for more tyranny. You have perfectly played your role in ignorant, controlled opposition. Useful idiot. Congratulations. Congratulations. You've missed the plot. You've swung and missed again. All right, this is just getting ridiculous. The crew is trying to explain to me what's going on here. They have, I don't even know if I can explain this properly. They have some sort of a strange encampment going, or like a treehouse situation on the WashU campus, and they have a milk crate food delivery deal on a rope, and they can't figure out how to put the pizza box into the milk crate because it doesn't fit. Oh my gosh. Oh man. My goodness. Yeah, oh yeah. I'd be having a laugh at that too. I'd be pointing and laughing. It's just, what a shame. We can't do anything right. They don't know what to do. Why don't they? What? So they can't go down and grab the pizza because they're in like a holdout, or they got the thing blocked off? It looks like they have they're held up in the building. They have the door. They have the railing tied with silly string. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm ready for a pro-Israel rave now. I'm done. You've lost me. This is just out of control. Forget the genocide. It's done. Do we want to go to this? This is reporter drills Columbia student after she demands the university help feed protesters occupying Hamilton Hall. They can't walk down the street to get the soy latte. So, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and hear from the big pro-Palestine leader here.
Why should the university be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
You mentioned that there was a request to...
Why don't they go to the chow hall?
Unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation, or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic... I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
Look at that cop. I mean, he's making a fashion statement.
Very deliberately in that...
Gays for Palestine.
So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries, we want to take over this building, now would you please bring us food and water? And
nobody's asking them to bring anything.
You just did.
We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
Humanitarian aid.
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it.
Humanitarian aid. This is unbelievable.
I don't know.
All right, get her off the screen. So you have actual Palestinian people being starved out and bombed to hell. And this college liberal is going to say, I need humanitarian aid. Oh, my gosh, I need basic humanitarian aid. You can walk a block to the chow hall and eat as much as you want. There's literally an entire lineup of fountain sodas. There's probably a grill hot right now, cooking a burger, cooking a chicken sandwich, as you're sitting there saying, I need humanitarian aid. Do you see? This is just unbelievable. Oh, we're out here. We stand with the Palestinians. They're actually starving and losing limbs and losing their homes. And then this college liberal says, I need basic humanitarian aid. Bring me a yarmulke. All right. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, is this the one where they're smashing the windows in clip 10? Same thing. Here, give me clip 10. So here's a left-wing protester. They're occupying a building. I can't tell if they're breaking in or breaking out. I mean, who knows? You know, when you're on acid, it's all confusing. But notice what happens here as they're trying to break through this door and they smash the windows. Okay, they get through. And look at that.
Get in the bag, dog.
Is that a security officer that just let him do it? And then more of them run out. They've all got their scarves, very trendy. Gotta have your headscarf at the protest. And then now here's your security guard who was right there, watched them do it the whole time, and didn't arrest a single person. This is just clownish, man.
My bad.
Fucking bring it down.
I think everybody's stupid. That's where I'm getting here. I think just everybody's stupid. But see, okay, so they don't get arrested.
Let's destroy this.
So you can smash windows, break into buildings, you can stop people from going to class, and there'll be a security officer or a police officer right.
Some annoying bullshit. Well, there's it.
Yeah, and then you just run into this.
And a lack of defense. That's another glaring issue.
Yeah, which is crazy to me because defense is going to get kills.
Oh, do you need
better for it anyway. You're not going to go around.
need a PhD for burgers, huh?
My game's not going to get these buildings.
You know those marks that you take that like leave all the pressure in your stomach? You know those marks that you sometimes have where once it passes, like all the pressure in your abdomen goes away? Those are amazing. Nice, dude. Holy shit.
They're witnessing it, and nothing will happen. Oh, that's great. So that's tomorrow, May Day workplace of action for Palestine. defend the right to protest, defend the right to strike. Yeah, it's just building. Hey, I agree. You have a right to protest. You have a right to be an idiot. But you don't have a right to block a roadway. You don't have a right to block somebody from walking in public, a student from going to class. Again, these are the same leftists that said, everyone I disagree with is a Nazi, Donald Trump is a Nazi, and Trump supporters are a Nazi. And now they're standing at entryways of universities saying, I need to see your passport, Jew. And without even a blink, they went from accusing everybody who disagrees with them of being a Nazi, and now they're standing at college doorways saying, show me your papers, Jew. This is just ridiculous. But see, okay, but see, if you're actually having a peaceful protest, this is what I'm saying. The whole world has just gone crazy. This is at VCU, and you have students, put clip 14 up, you can give them the sound, and students are just standing on a patch of grass, waving Palestine flags with their boxes and signs, and then the police come in to shut them down, and then what happens? Now you have the conflict, now you have the battering rams, now you have the police brutality, now you have the police being assaulted, and it's just, this is exactly where it was always going to go. So this is gonna bring in all the leftist movements. It's gonna put them back out on the streets. And it'll be, oh, well, okay, well, maybe the original people were here because of what Israel is doing, or for Palestine, or for Gaza. And then it's going to be, well, now we're against the police that are cracking down on free speech and protest. And then it's going to be the police brutality. And then it's going to be the police racism. And then it's going to be the dirty capitalists. So you're playing right into their hands, you useful idiot liberals. Every frickin' time. Every frickin' time. Yep, you assault a police officer, you're going to jail. Every frickin' time. Unless, of course, it was the 2020 Summer of Love Black Lives Matter riots, then you can assault police officers forever and you'll be fine. You can throw anything you want at them. You can attack them in their cars, you can firebomb them, you can try to burn down their police stations, and you're good, baby. You are good. All right, I don't know how much more of this. I've got some other videos. Again, they're just setting up these encampments, and they're doing these things, and they're blocking people from walking, and it's the same leftist activity. I can't do it anymore. I got more of these clips, but I'm out of the patience. It's too clown world. Representative Claudia Teddy, Republican from New York, demands crackdown on dark money fueling anti-Israel campus protests. Yeah, it's the same dark money that fueled Black Lives Matter. It's the same dark money that fueled Antifa. It's the same dark money that fueled all the anti-Trump protests. It's the same people. And they let bricks be laid outside so they can riot. It's the exact same people. And you didn't look into it in 2016 or 17 or 18 or 20. And so now they're back. But now you got a problem with it, don't you? Now all of a sudden you have a problem with it. Wonder why.
Hey, all
right, I'm going to get into the real news here. That's not just the college madness when we come back with the geopolitical news. Folks, remember to shop at InfoWarsStore.com. Nitric Boost. Saying that... Hey, you stood down. Oh, security glitch, intelligence failure. You stood down. And so why? Well, because now they had the perfect excuse to go into the Gaza Strip, wipe out the Palestinians, move them as south as they possibly can, and we'll see what the end result here is. It's really not going that well for Netanyahu, to be honest. He's losing popularity. He barely won the last election. He's protested every night in the streets. The vast majority of UN nations and now the International Criminal Court have accused the IDF of genocide, but they're just moving forward no matter what. So we'll see what the end result is, but I think it's pretty clear Netanyahu wanted his final legacy to be taking over Palestine, ending that war once and for all, removing all the people from their land, taking the Gaza Strip, and building a new beachfront city for Israel. Got the perfect stand down to do so, had the perfect excuse to do so. And you got all these terror cells that are now armed and funded out of the West and the Pentagon, run by the CIA, Hezbollah, and Mossad. Okay. So that brings us to today. So the U.S. has to, because of the atrocities happening in Gaza. I mean, them building the pier and setting up this permanent aid situation is basically admitting, yeah, Israel is, we don't have to use the word genocide, whatever. Israel is destroying the Gaza Strip and displacing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. And they have no way of getting food and water. So the U.S. has to build this pier to get aid to the Palestinians who are now left with nothing but rubble and dirt and sand. At the same time, while building the pier is obviously an admission, they're giving Israel billions of dollars to launch this war against the Palestinian people. So they're in full support of the war, funding Israel, and then they're saying, well, yeah, we know what Israel is going to do here, but we'll go ahead and give the Palestinian people some aid. So when their homes get destroyed and they get displaced and they're all starving, we'll have some aid here on the pier. Well, really? How do you think that's going to go, as Matt Gate puts it? Yeah, they know who funds Israel. Why do you think these countries in the Middle East have a problem with the United States? You really think it's because of our way of life? No, it's because we fund Israel, and we fund all these proxy groups. Oh, yeah. Are you ready for the conversation?